Hi there, this is Ubaidullah, and today in this video of the chapter number 5, The 100 Dresses Part 1, we are going to work on oral comprehension check, the first oral comprehension check, and we will discuss the content that falls under oral comprehension check and we will try to find out the answers. So if you work on these questions, the final exercise will be much easier for you to answer. So let's get started. Let's first understand what is our target text, which text we are going to focus on. So the texts that are going to come under oral comprehension check, there are some key points of that text. There are three main characters in the story: Wenda, Peggy, and Maddie. So we see that Wenda is a little, a silent sort of girl. She does not talk. She does not even laugh. Peggy is the most popular girl in the school, and Maddie is one of the favorite, one of the closest friend of Peggy. Wenda is a poor girl who lives at Boggins Heights. वेंडा एक खास जगह रहती है जिसका नाम बोगिंस हाइट्स है और वो एक गरीब लड़की है। बोगिंस हाइट्स एक अपने आप में एक ऐसी जगह है जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलर नहीं है, बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद जगह नहीं है। उस तक पहुंचने के लिए शायद रोड वगैरह भी रेडी नहीं है, तो वहां से आने पर वेंडा जो है उसके पैर वगैरह गंदे हो जाते हैं। द रोड टू हर होम इज़ नॉट गुड, सो शी रीचेज स्कूल विद फीट केक्ड विद ड्राई मड। और उसका जो घर पहुंचने का जो रास्ता है वो बहुत बना हुआ नहीं है ना। तो उसको मिट्टी के अंदर से होते हुए आना होता है, कीचड़ में से होकर आना होता है और उसके पैर जो है वो मिट्टी में लथपथ हो जाती हैं जब वो स्कूल पहुंचती है। तो Wenda sits at the backside in the corner where mostly rough boys sit, जहाँ पर आमतौर से कुछ शरारत करने वाले बच्चे बैठते हैं। वहाँ पर वेंडा की जगह है, वो बिल्कुल आखिर में बैठती है। दे मेक नॉइज एंड स्कोर पुअर। ये वो लड़के हैं जिनके साथ वेंडा बैठती है, ये वो लड़के हैं जो कि बहुत शोर करते हैं और इनके मार्क्स हमेशा कम आते हैं। वो ज़ोर ज़ोर से हंसते हैं, दे लाफ एंड दे टॉक अलॉट। ये बातें करने वाली जगह है। तो वेंडा जो है वो ऐसे लोगों के साथ बैठती है, बट बैठती ज़रूर है। वेंडा हैज़ नो फ्रेंड इन द क्लास। वेंडा के कोई क्लासमेट्स में से कोई दोस्त नहीं है। दैट इज़ वाई नो वन नोटिस्ड हर एब्सेंट फॉर 2 days। 2 दिन तक वो नहीं आई, तो उसके एब्सेंस को किसी ने नोटिस ही नहीं किया कि वेंडा नहीं आ रही है। कोई उसके बारे में क्लास में सोचता नहीं था। पैगी एंड मैडी who have fun with Wenda notice her absence on third day। 2 दिन तक नहीं हो पाया, किसी ने नोटिस नहीं किया। पैगी और मैडी जो कि दो और मेन कैरेक्टर्स हैं इस स्टोरी के, उन्होंने तीसरे दिन नोटिस किया कि वेंडा नहीं आ रही है। सो क्यों नोटिस किया? उन्होंने नोटिस तब किया जब वो वेंडा का इंतज़ार करते करते स्कूल पहुंचने में लेट हो गए। तो वो स्कूल पहुंचने के लिए वेंडा का इंतज़ार कर रहे थे कि वो वेंडा आएगी तो साथ में उसके स्कूल जाएंगे, पर वेंडा नहीं आई और उसका इंतज़ार करते करते वो लेट हो गए। So first question of this comprehension check 1 is, where in the classroom does Wenda sit and why? ये पूछ रहा है कि क्लास में वेंडा कहाँ बैठती है और क्यों वहीं पे बैठती है। तो दो पैराग्राफ हैं जो इससे रिलेटेड हैं, जिनको हम इसके आंसर के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं। आई हैव mentioned those two paragraphs here on your screen. You can see usually Wenda sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in room 13, है ना। She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat, the corner of the room where there was most scuffling of feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most dust and most mud and dirt on the floor. So uh, in this paragraph we have to we have to find where does Wenda sit. Okay, now in the second paragraph we will find out why does Wenda sit there. Nobody knew exactly why Wenda sat in that seat unless it was because she came all the way from Bogin's Height and her feet were usually kicked with dry mud, but no one really thought much about Wenda Patnowski once she sat in the corner of the room. we can draw out these three conclusions from these two paragraphs to answer question number one. Uh, she sits next to the last seat in the last row in room 13. So room 13 में वो पढ़ती है और वो last row की जो last seat है उसमें बैठती है. So that is where Wanda sit. This place must be described a little more because this corner is is at the back of the class, and usually there are the students who are sitting there are rough students who are not very good in studies, who are not very focused. So these kind of students sit there. So she sat in the corner of the room with the rough boys. Okay, so these were the company she was this was the company she was having. Now why does she sit there? So exactly nobody knows why Wanda sat there. Okay, perhaps because her feet were usually caked with dry mud and she did not want that mud to spread all over in the class, so she sat at the in the last seat. It may also happen that because her feet were caked with dry mud, she did not want people to look at her feet, so she goes back to the last bench of the classroom. These might be the reason. So these 3 points you can add in your answer on to try to answer this question in less than 5 or 6 sentences. Okay, not more than 6 sentences, because in exams usually you have this criteria to not exceed from 5 to 6 sentences. So keep your habit of writing in the in the limit. Now this is the second question, and second question is about where Wenda lives. Where does Wenda live? And uh, it asks your opinion about the place. है. So it may be that it may happen that you don't find the exact exact description of the place where Wenda lives, but you will have to give your thoughts. है. What do you think that place can be? What kind of a place that can be? You will have to write your thoughts in your answer. So where does Venda live? This short paragraph answers that part only. You will have to write your thought for the next part of the question. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat unless it was because she came all the way from Bogins Heights. So ये जो place है Bogins Heights, ये actually वो जगह है जहाँ वंडा रहती है. एंड हर फीट वर यूजुअली किक्ड विद ड्राई मड. ये हमको बताता है उस जगह के बारे में कि वो जगह किस तरह की है. ओके, तो हमको अपने इसके बारे में आंसर जो है हमको खुद क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा अपने माइंड से. तो ये 2 पॉइंट है जो हमें इस टेक्स्ट से मिलते हैं. शी केम ऑल द वे फ्रॉम बोगिन साइड्स. बोगिन साइड से वो आती थी वो. एंड हर फीट्स वर यूजुअली किक्ड विद ड्राई मड. दिस सेंटेंस टेल्स that the place where she comes from is not very developed place. So the people who live there must also be having not that developed house, है ना. उनके घर भी जो है बहुत पक्के नहीं होते होंगे. जब रोड बहुत साफ सुथरा नहीं है, बहुत पक्का रोड नहीं है, डेवलप्ड काइंड ऑफ रोड वी डोंट सी, तो जिस जगह हम पहुंचते हैं वो जगह भी आमतौर से डेवलप नहीं होती है, अंडर डेवलप होती है. जो जगह डेवलप हो चुकी हैं वहाँ हम देखते हैं कि रोड्स पहुंचते हैं, वहाँ पे सड़कों का इंतजाम होता है. पर जिन जगहों पर इस तरह की फैसिलिटी नहीं होती है वहाँ हम आमतौर से देखते हैं कि जो घर हैं उन जगहों पर वो कच्चे घर हैं या लकड़ी के बने हुए हैं या लकड़ी और मिट्टी के बने हुए हैं. इस तरह के घर होते हैं वहाँ पर. तो हमको उस जगह के बारे में थोड़ा सा ऐसा अंदाज़ा मिलता है. तो ये 2 पॉइंट्स जो हैं आप अपने क्वेश्चन के आंसर में मेंशन कीजिए और इसकी भी कोशिश कीजिएगा कि इट शुड नॉट एक्सीड for more than 5 to 6 sentences. The third question asks, when and why do Peggy and Mary notice Wenda's absence? Wenda की absence को दो लोग नोटिस करते हैं, पैगी और मैट. पर वो कब नोटिस करते हैं? क्या वो पहले दिन नोटिस कर लेते हैं, कि दूसरे दिन या तीसरे दिन? वो तीसरा दिन कौन सा होता है या दूसरा दिन कौन सा होता है जिस दिन वो नोटिस करते हैं, ये हमको बताना है। फिर ये भी हमको बताना है कि वाई डू दे नोटिस, क्या हुआ है कि वो नोटिस करते हैं? पहले दिन किया तो क्यों किया, या दूसरे या तीसरे दिन किया तो क्यों नोटिस किया, है ना? उस नोटिस करने का रीज़न हमको मेंशन करना है। तो ये टेक्स्ट है जिसमें से हमको अपना आंसर मिल सकता है। देखते हैं इसमें से क्या मिल सकता है। But on Wednesday, Peggy and Mary, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wenda wasn't there. So the Wednesday was the day when Peggy and Mary noticed that Wenda is not coming to school, or Wenda did not come to school today. Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes, and her hair was curly. Mary was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Mary noticed Wenda's absence, here is the answer of why. Okay, the reason Peggy and Mary noticed Wenda's absence was because Wenda had made them late to school. Wenda की वजह से वो स्कूल आने में देर हो गई है उनको। वो देर से स्कूल पहुंचे हैं वेंडा की वजह से। वेंडा स्कूल नहीं आई है, पर उसकी वजह से दो स्टूडेंट उसके क्लास के लेट हो गए हैं। हमको जो पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं वो ये कि ऑन वेडनेसडे पैगी एंड मैडी नोटिस दैट वेंडा वाजंट देयर, और दूसरा पॉइंट जो मिलता है कि वेंडा हैड मेड देम लेट टू स्कूल, दैट्स व्हाई दे नोटिस्ड दैट वेंडा इज नॉट कमिंग टू स्कूल। सो this question answer to this question may not reach to 5 to 6 sentences. Okay, so it's okay if it is a little shorter, है ना? But don't try to keep it short. Add a little text, include the background. Okay, like Wenda did not come on Monday, but nobody noticed. Wenda did not come on Tuesday as well, but nobody noticed again for the second consecutive day. But on Tuesday, the third day when Wenda was not in the school, Peggy and Maddie did notice that Wenda wasn't there, but they noticed it for the reason that Wenda, they were waiting for Wenda to come to school, and they wanted to have fun while walking with her. They found that Wenda did not come, so waiting for her made them late to school. So include these 2 points mainly in your answer, and to write a little more text, you can add a little background, that why on Wednesday, why not on Monday or Tuesday. Okay. This is the fourth and last question of first oral comprehension check. And this question asks, what do you think to have fun with her means? है ना? टेक्स्ट में दो तीन जगह पर यह यूज हुआ है कि some students used to have fun with Wenda, है ना? So what do you think? What is your opinion about uh, having fun? You know, what kind of fun they could have with Wenda? Okay, they means especially Peggy and Maddie. What kind of fun they had with Wenda? So we need a little background to answer this question. So I have included more text than required. But no one really thought much about Wanda Perdnowski once she sat in the corner of the room. It will give us a little insight of the question. Is it really having fun or making fun? Having fun means साथ में मिलके मजाक करना एक दूसरे के साथ, है ना? It's not pulling legs or making fun of someone. But making fun is किसी का मजाक उड़ाना. Someone is target and we are making fun of him or her. Okay. So the word having fun is really having fun or making fun. Okay. So the first paragraph says no one really thought much about Wanda Pesnowski once she sat in the corner of the room. जब वो बैठ जाती थी क्लास में आके उसके बारे में फिर और कोई नहीं सोचता था. Okay. Second paragraph says the time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours, at noon time when they were coming back to school, or in the morning early before school began, when groups of 2 or 3 or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to schoolyard. Then sometimes they waited for Venda. Why? To have fun with her. सो ये टेक्स्ट है हमारे पास. क्या पॉइंट्स निकल सकते हैं इसमें से देखते हैं. नो वन रियली थॉट मच अबाउट वेंडा, फर्स्ट थिंग है ना. सो हैविंग फन इज अ लिटिल डिफरेंट हियर बिकॉज इफ दे if they thought about Venda, then having fun can have some positive meaning. The time when they thought about Venda was outside of school hours. Means when Venda is in the school, or when she is studying or is having some problem in the school hours, okay, they do not pay attention at her. They don't, they don't even know whether or not she is in the school. So having fun means is a little different here because uh, these these students who are having fun with her are not actually her friends. They don't even know whether or not Venda is in school. They thought about Venda only when this is not a school hour, either in the morning or in the afternoon when they are, when they go back home to have lunch, etc., come back to school, or in the evening when they go back home. They look for Venda in such time, in free time. They waited for Venda to have fun with her. It means they waited, means they don't go along with Venda. They stand at some point and Venda comes there and they go talking and laughing with Venda. So uh, I'm not giving you answer to this question, but you will have to find out what uh, what is what is your thought about it. You will have to write it in your own words. So it's up to you how do you describe it, but definitely it's not some fun that Venda is enjoying, and it's not that kind of fun. Only Peggy and Maddie are enjoying this, or Venda is actually merely a target, so they're targeting her with their funny words. So this is it in this video for today, students. I hope this video will definitely help you uh, answer the questions of first oral comprehension check. I will strongly recommend you to go through the videos of the same text that are there on the YouTube, already available on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching. See you soon.